Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another review. This time of a documentary. I don't talk about documentaries all that much. Um, Documentaries a lot of time depress me, and I just don't like that. Um, and a lot of times I just don't find them as interesting. I can't pay attention as much attention to them for some reason. And so I heard about this documentary, Will and Harper, a while back. Heard it was really good. Decided to finally check it out, specifically since it has Will Ferrell, and anything with Will Ferrell can't be too crazy serious, can it? And this movie isn't super serious. This movie is about Will Ferrell and his friend Harper, who Will met during SNL when Harper was a man. And I believe in 2021, 2022 it was. Um, uh, this man decided that he was going to transition into woman and go by Harper. And after Harper transitioned, she felt that it would be really hard for her to do some of the things that she used to enjoy doing because of her transition, um, like going to a tiny little bar in the middle of nowhere and going to a sports event kind of thing. And so she decides, hey, I'm going to take a road trip with my friend Will Ferrell. If anything goes out of whack, Will Ferrell, everyone knows who Will Ferrell is. He'll be there to kind of soften the blow. And so that's what it is. It is Will Ferrell and his friend Harper um, taking a road trip together and experiencing things as a transition, as a woman who has transitioned. Um, and this is just a wonderful documentary. It is such a beautiful movie, documentary about friendship. Um, the Will and Harper have been friends for almost 30 years now. Um, and it is so beautiful to see such a long lasting friendship like this in this documentary form. Um, Something I really loved about this movie is I think if you don't know someone who's trans or you don't live in an area where there are trans people or anything like that, it is something that I don't want to say it makes you uncomfortable, but it's different. You don't understand it. And immediately you almost want to start asking questions. Something I loved about this documentary is because Will and Harper have been friends for 30 years. Harper literally says, Will, I know you have questions. Ask them. We've been friends for 30 years. If you're asking this question, it's because you want me to feel comfortable. You want to feel comfortable. You're not doing this to hurt me. You're not trying to insult me. You're just trying to keep the friendship strong and to respect me. And so Will does ask many different questions that I myself would want to ask. And it was funny as I'm watching this movie, I'm going, I wonder what this is like now. And 5 minutes later, Will is asking that question. And it's so this is so educational, honestly. I think this is something people should be watching if they're uncomfortable with trans people or just unsure of trans people. Um, I, I'm going to use my father as an example. He is very homophobic. He's very transphobic. He is very, if you are not straight, normal human being, he is very uncomfortable with you and he can't talk to you. Not at all what I am. And this is almost something he should watch because I don't think my father understands how harmful it is to not feel like you can be yourself. I think my father is someone that doesn't feel like he can be himself. I don't think at the end of the day my father is himself. I think he's constantly trying to be what everyone thinks the world should make him to be. And he's miserable because of it. He has been married to my mom for almost 30 years, and they hate each other. They can't stand each other. They're retired together. They hate each other. And this is something they need to watch to realize, you know what? Stop being what the world tells you you need to be. Be yourself because you're just going to be miserable. And that is something I really got out of this is uh, Harper needed to make this change. You go through some of her memories in her life and you just realize how miserable she really was. And she talks about just some of the ways that she was miserable. And she is just so accepting an understanding of how it is different. You see multiple times throughout the movie, someone goes, like, thank you, sir. And she goes, ma'am. And they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. She's like, oh no, that's all right. And that's the way it needs to be. You know, um, I'm not uncomfortable with anyone saying, like, hey, can you please, I go by they, them. I'm totally okay with that. You have to understand, though, that, you do look like a woman. And I might accidentally slip a she in there every once in a while. As long as you give me time, I will be able to do that. And Will Ferrell kind of talks about that in this. He talks about how by the end of this road trip, there is no more. I forget what her name was before she transitioned. We're just gonna say Earl. There. Wow, I just picked the worst name. Let's go with Edward. Let's say Harper was Edward first. He goes, there is no more Edward anymore. There's only Harper. Edward's gone. He's dead. There's Harper now, and that for me is the kind of the case is after time, you have to give people time with these kind of things, and after time, absolutely. Just like if, yeah, I'm terrible with names. If you give me a nickname you want me to call you, I will call you that name all the time. Give me a minute, because I've called you Tim for the last 10 years. But now if you want me to call you Tony the Tiger, sure, I'll call you Tony Tiger. It's going to take some time, but allow me the time to get used to it, and I'll definitely call you Tony Tiger all the time. And I like that that was brought up in this too. Um, and it also shows some really beautiful scenes of acceptance that I really liked. For example, there is a scene in which Harper does go into the bar alone. She tells Will to stay in the car. If there's any issues, she'll call him. And she walks into the bar, and there are some looks. But then there is a group at this bar that does accept her, and she's having a good time. And then she calls Will in. And it is beautiful to see that. There is also a scene though where they go to this restaurant in Texas, and you see tweets from the next day and during that night of, Will Ferrell, you realize you're eating in front of a dude. Don't ever bring that kind of thing in here ever again. You're not in Hollywood. Get the fuck out of here. That kind of crap, which is disgusting and wrong. I cannot believe that people sit on their freaking phones and tweet this crap. Um, and again, those are the people that need to watch this kind of crap, because they're so uncomfortable with this crap for some reason. And they need to see how they are affecting people and how they are hurting people. Let people be people. It's not hurting you. Does it make you uncomfortable in the sense that you don't know if that's a man or woman? Fine. But don't let that uncomfortability hurt that other person for being themselves. Um, you want to do the things that make you happy. Great, do those things as long as they're not hurting people. And someone coming into a restaurant being themselves is not hurting you. Don't let it hurt you. Why is that hurting you? It's just stupid. That scene really got me going. Seeing the tweets that were sent out, I literally paused the movie and just had to read them and soak it in, and just, God, people are flipping stupid. Why can't we have more respect for each other? Um, why can't people just be happy? I don't understand why we have to feel like you need to be less happy than me because I'm not this happy. I'm only this happy. Just let people be happy. Let them be themselves. Um, yeah, I don't understand that. I really don't. It's so crazy to me. I hope more and more people watch this. It is on Netflix. If Will Ferrell can be accepting of someone everyone loves Elf. Everyone likes Elf, Step Brothers, Talladega Nights, um, Anchorman, Old School. I mean, the list goes on of all the Will Ferrell movies. You can like his movies, you can like Will Ferrell, and you can accept that he has a friend that is now a woman. It's not a big deal. I just think that's something that we just need to be ourselves. Every day, I strive to be myself. I really do. I go to work and I dance and I sing, and I don't care if customers don't like it. I just don't. Most of the time, customers do like it. But there's other times that customers don't like it, and I'm like, okay, don't come in here. I don't care. We're pretty busy. You don't need to come in here. That's fine. We'll be fine without you. Um, I'm not hurting anybody by dancing. I'm not hurting anybody by singing. If I'm singing terribly, like right now, I'm not going to sing because I sound like crap. Um, but just be yourself. Be happy. I don't understand this need to be normal. And I never will be normal. So screw that. So yeah, guys, that this felt a little more like a rant than a review, but this is such a solid documentary. It is a beautiful road trip movie. You have celebrity cameos in here from like Tina Fey, Seth Meyers is in this, Kristen Wiig, Will Forte, and you just see all these people accepting this person for who they are, and that's just wonderful. I love seeing that. Why can't we just accept people for who they are? And there's just no reason to treat people like crap. I hate that. So yeah, at the end of the day, guys, really solid documentary. I love this movie so much. I am gonna go 9 out of 10 on this one. I really, really, really like this. I really felt like we were. It didn't feel like they were being filmed. It felt like they didn't even realize they were being filmed. It just felt like such beautiful, intimate moments that we were allowed the opportunity to sit in on and just experience these conversations. And again, every question I had, I think, was answered. And I think after watching this, I'm not going to be. I wouldn't say I was ever uncomfortable with a trans person because I have met a few, um, but I was like, sir, ma'am, I don't know what to call you. I think after watching this, I understand that like just be respectful, be a person, be a good human being, and everything will be fine. No one's going to be insulted if you just respect people and just just understand. Don't don't be a butthead. That's the big thing from this. Everyone should just watch this documentary because it is fantastic. So yeah, Will and Harper, guys, on Netflix. Check it out if you haven't. If it's not in my top 10 of the year, it's in the honorable mentions because it is such a solid movie and I really did enjoy it. So yeah, guys, that is my thoughts on Will and Harper. Like, subscribe, all that crap. I don't care about that anymore at all. But yeah, I hope you guys have yourself a great day. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, and hey, I'll see you next time.